everyone, and welcome back to my channel. You know, in one of my previous videos, we took a look at turning the wall on the back side of my workspace into a little propagation wall. And today we're going to do the same with a few other areas, starting with my workspace. I work from home, and this is the area that I work from, but I have some new propagation vessels that I got on Amazon. They were only, I believe, 4 for like $20-something, really cheap. So it comes with 4 vessels, and it comes with the little hooks that go inside of them. So I have some cuttings of a few different plants that I want to propagate, and one of them being one of my favorite plants, the jade satin scindapsus. So I think what we're going to do is we're going to work with this area over here, because I used to have a water vessel up there, and now we're going to just add a new one. After that one started to root, I planted it up. So it's a really simple process, actually, and it's a really fun process that does add a lot of design to your home decor, especially if you have a kind of a bland work from space area. Not that mine's were really too bland. I have a bunch of random stuff up here, like crystals, gemstones, other plants. In here I have some different kinds of viburnum, as well as a mini monstera, which is a Rhaphidophora tetrasperma, completely different genus than monstera, though people call it a mini monstera because its leaves look like monstera leaves. There's actually a new one coming out. But we're going to start with that area, and I brought one of my stools over here from my little dining area over there, just so I'd be able to get up instead of having to use the ladder, because alas, I'm only 5'6", and it is difficult when you are 5'6" to get up to some of these areas, especially when your ceilings are as tall as mine, which are about 22 feet high. So we are going to begin with just a simple little nailing, and I think we're going to put it probably, I would say, right about yonder, because this will be a good area. And what's nice about it is the fact that we can literally have an area up here that still gets some natural light coming in from the west. I'm trying not to knock over this other propagation that I have up here of a Dark Lord philodendron. Just like that. I mean, that wasn't loud, right? I'm sure my neighbors aren't too happy, but it's a Sunday afternoon when I'm doing this, so we're good. So the Dark Lord philodendron, I put that propagation in there a little while ago. This area does get good light, but it's also not the fastest area to root, which is fine because I have a couple cuttings of the jade satin scindapsus, and that's what we're going to put up here. So our next mission is to take the water vessel, and we're going to put it inside here. And now all I need to do is get us some water. All right, so I have the water, and I also have the cutting that I've had in this little glass since I cut it up last week, and that's what we're going to use. So we're going to put this guy right here for now, and then what we're going to do is we are going to fill this up with water. I like to use filtered water, and I've told you guys that before, just because filtered water seems to work a lot better. And I don't ever water any of my plants, even the simple ones like a pothos, with tap water, just because I like to baby my plants, and that's fine. So now what we're going to do is we're going to take this cutting, which has yet to even start rooting because it was only cut up last week, and we're going to put it inside there. But I'm noticing now, actually, what I'm going to have to do is I'm going to have to cut another one of these leaves off, just because of the fact that I need more space for the stem to kind of start rooting out. So I'm just going to take some scissors here, and I'm going to sacrifice this leaf. Little leaf, you have served us well. I will make use of you as a decoration in one of these little things here. Okay, so now we're going to take this, and we are going to just plop it in there like so. And this is where the interesting kind of fun part comes around, is that you can start to design it by moving around the cutting with little hooks. I like to use these little sticky hooks as well as regular little white hooks as well. I think I have some of the sticky hooks inside of my little handy fanny pack that is designed for plants. I literally don't do any work without any plant work without having this thing on because it's so useful. And these are older ones that I had, these little clips that I showed you guys plenty of times before. I also got on Amazon. You can get like 60 of them for 10 or 15 bucks, and they're really great. And so I used them in a previous plant, but now they're going to have new life as well. So I kind of want this to look in a way, and it's hard with these cuttings because they're like all over the place. But I think if I do something here with this guy and clip it in there, press it up against the wall just so the adhesive will stick a little bit better. That's important. This came from a big jade satin mother plant that I have actually climbing up on my living room wall, but the cuttings, the vines are rather just getting so long, and I wanted to make more of this plant, so I just decided that I'm going to take some cuttings from it and propagate them and turn them into something new. What's nice too is that this plant also has a brand new leaf coming out of it, as I can see. I had a little hook here from a previous cutting, and I think I'm going to use that as well. So we'll do that, and then I'm probably just going to use one more of these little hooks, and we'll see which one has more stickiness to it. I ran out of new ones. That's how many of them I went through. So I'm like slim pickings here and having to reuse older ones, but that's fine because, you know, it's kind of just upcycling, I guess. I'm going to clip this guy here, like so, and once it's done, we will be able to just let it do its propagation work. And that should be fine. And so what I'm going to do is actually, I think I'm going to take a little bit more water and add it to this, just because there's a node down there that I think could root as well. Cool. And so this is step one, and as you can see, adds a little bit more greenery to that space up there that otherwise really didn't have a whole lot to it. So yeah, that's I'm happy with the way it looks. And so what I'm going to do next is I'm going to go over here into the hallway and put a propagation vessel up there. But we're going to use one of the cuttings of my big Billy Etier, so that'll be interesting. All right, and because this is such a high up area, what we're going to end up having to do is we're going to use the ladder. Again, being 5'6", I'm at a disadvantage here. So what we're going to do is I think we're going to put it smack dab here in the middle, and we're going to nail that in. Perfect. And the nice thing is I've already pre-filled the water vessel, so all I have to do is grab that, which is right down here, and then what I'm going to do is put this baby up here and attach it in. Again, it gets some pretty decent western facing light coming in from yonder. And now we're going to grab one of the cuttings of my big Billy Etier plant that I chopped up recently, so let's go do that. And just because I get a little bit wary with my Billy Etier cuttings, I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to go with one of the smaller ones. And by small, I mean this is still 12 to 13 inches long. And so I'm just going to place it in here like so. And I will let it just kind of do its propagation thing. And so now I've added some little greenery into the hallway, which only really has this heartleaf philodendron hanging down here, which I love, and I've used that in plenty of propagations as well. So that's pretty much it for right now in terms of putting up more propagation vessels. But for other propagation vessels, I encourage you to look through my YouTube channel because there are so many more. Again, if you haven't already, please subscribe to my channel, hit the like button, it really helps out a lot. And I thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.